So why Minnesota?
Great question. I remember we looked at there were really four teams: the Jets, the Broncos, the Cardinals, and the Vikings. And as we did our homework and kind of looked at the situations we'd be walking into, we felt that three of the four teams would be a double if you were to say baseball terms. Like they were going to be pretty good opportunities, but we felt that one was a home run, and that was Minnesota. And it was just the combination of all the factors that affect your experience playing pro football, especially as a quarterback, knowing you're so dependent on all the pieces around you. And we just felt like Minnesota was a home run. And to Minnesota's credit, they helped make it work and make it worth our while, and it really worked out.
Yeah, they made it worth what? Guaranteed $80 million, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I think. Pat P, he got $80 million guaranteed.
Yeah, well,
that quarterback, you got to warm that play 60 arm out there in the backyard, man. That play 60 arm might get you 80 real quick. All guaranteed. I don't even know what that feel like, man. Kirk Cousins, man, I tip my brim to you. I don't have one on, but I tip it to you. Hey, that's a tough position, but they pay real good if you're good enough to get paid, and you're clearly good enough to get paid.
No,
man, when you look at the cast that you have now currently in Minnesota, I mean, the structure, the pass catchers, man, you got a young stud in Justin Jefferson. And last year, there were some heated moments between you and Justin. And most wide receivers, let's just keep it real. And I know Pat would agree with me on this. Most wide receivers are prima donnas. They want the football every time, even when they're covered. It'll be covered. You wasn't open. Man, I was open. No, you were. You were not open. Every great receiver always believes they're open. They believe they should get the football. But how do you handle some of the disputes, the emotional disputes that happen in the flow of a ball game from your elite like wide receivers when they feel like, you know what, I should get every pass. And granted, you're the quarterback. You're going to throw it to where you believe the ball should go to. But most people don't understand that happens in the flow of a ball game. Emotions go high. I mean, coaches get cursed out all the time. Players get cursed out from other players. But how do you handle it being the captain of the team and the quarterback when your wide receivers want the football every time?
Yeah, first of all, I'm super lucky to I've been able to play with great receivers pretty much my whole career, going back to the days with Pierre Garcon and Deshaun Jackson and Jordan Reed. I mean, Pat's had to cover all those guys. He knows them well. But now in Minnesota, having Adam and Justin has just been a huge blessing to me. And to know that a guy like Justin, he's so young and he has so many years ahead of him. I look forward to hopefully being able to play with him for a really long time. And, he's going to have high expectations this year for himself because as a rookie, he's going in there not really knowing what to expect. And quite frankly, the role we had for him to start the year was not a large role, but he just played his way into more and more and more opportunities, suddenly set all these records for a rookie. So, looking ahead to year two, I know he's going to have high expectations. And I look forward to hopefully being able to meet those and exceed them. But, yeah, I mean, he's a great player. He deserves the ball. And so, I've got to find as many opportunities as possible to get him the ball. And then he and Adam get along so well. They're, I think, each other's biggest fan, biggest cheerleader. And, that works out really well, too. So I'm lucky to get to play with him. And, we also got a couple great tight ends, and Irv Smith and Tyler Conklin, and obviously Dalvin Cook at running back, what he's done. So
Florida State.
That's right. So he's just it's great for me to be able to play with so many talented players. And I've really become the point guard. And You got a great small forward, you got a great center, you got a great shooting guard. Like, let's bring the ball up the court, but let's put the ball in their hands. And let's just try to get as many assists as we can. That's really my perspective.
Yes, and statistically last year, that was your best season. So tell us a little bit what clicked, what was the turning point in the season to where you had it going, you was feeling it, everybody was dispersing the ball in the right where it needs to go. Like, what was the turning point throughout the season to finally feel like you guys had it going?
Yeah, we got off to a 1-5 start as a team, and then had the bye week. And even at 1-5, we were running the football really well. We were moving the football. We had a lot of explosive plays, but we were also, I think, close to leading the NFL in interceptions. And we were not being great on third down. And we weren't closing out games at the end. And we really used that bye week to go back, evaluate kind of recalibrate. And then, after the bye week, we played much better as an offense, protected the football much better, did a lot of positive things. But you saw the makings of that in the start of the year, going 1-5. A lot of the good stuff was there, but it was hiding behind not getting the win. And we were able to kind of bring it to the surface a little bit more in the second half of the year. And I do think just Dalvin's ability, what he could do running the football and even catching the football was just a huge engine for our offense that kind of drove everything. And I thought Gary Kubiak, did a really good job just putting the run game and the pass game playing together each week and having it all marry one another. And so when you have great coaches, when you have great players and everybody's on the same page, you have good chemistry, it's amazing what you can accomplish. And, we need to be able to take what were some good, moments, individual accomplishments on offense. We need to be able to channel that next year and turn it into a, wins, I should say, but a win and loss record that is, really going to reflect that.
And speaking of next year, you look at the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers pretty much, own the division. Won 13 games, I think, over the last 2 seasons. What do the Vikings need to do to compete with them for the NFC North supremacy?
Yeah, you made a great point. In the last 2 years, the Packers have gone 13-3. And so, the first thing we got to do is we got to, play up to them, to our competition in that division. And so the fastest way to get them off of that 13-3 deal is you've got to find a way to beat them when you go head to head. And then, additionally, you gotta say, hey, we got to find a way to get to 13-3 as well. And now with 17th game, it's going to have to be 14-3. And so, it takes playing at a really high level week in and week out. But there's no doubt that between, Green Bay, Detroit, and Chicago, it's a very tough division. It's been nicknamed the Black and Blue division going back many years because of how physical it can be. And, we've got to measure up. And under Coach Zimmer, this organization has, but we've got to do it against good competition.